must add that today I am fasting, and I hope to make it through the day. I find it more difficult to diet than I do to fast and to eat right. I know as a type 2 diabetic, I should eat primarily proteins and I guess what they would call complex carbs. But it's easier for me just not to eat. And but I think I'm going to start to try to diet. Darren and I, he's kind of my online friend. He and I were having a contest and he gave in. But he's also, become more disciplined, and I think there are times when he can be more disciplined than me and I can be more disciplined than him. And as I was fasting, I've read it somewhere that the ancient pharaohs were diabetic because they lived a decadent lifestyle. And I think a lot of the woke left, particularly I think the elite woke left, are a lot like the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. They were very decadent, and they believed in kooky beliefs, and those beliefs were under the sword. It was done by force. So I think it's going to take a disciplined group to defeat this group, because they come in with punishment. Primarily, the biggest punishment, if you speak out against them, is they will try to economically destroy you. They will try to humiliate you and economically destroy you. And then also, I believe that they will also get violent with you as well. So these are some of the things that they try to do when you speak out against them and you talk out against the elite, because the elites are the pushing the woke beliefs, and there are people that are blind to it, and they do have followers who believe that they are correct and right. Another thing I've been dealing with online is, again, there's a lot of people that aren't, I think a lot of things during 2020 with regards to the pandemic and with regards to the riots have not necessarily come to light. And I would like to see justice done and perhaps a righteous reckoning. One story that has come to mind, and I've talked to her, I've communicated with her on Twitter. I don't think she acknowledges what I ask or what I say, and I think many people do, is Megan Hunt. Now, the other person's name doesn't necessarily come to mind, but he's a former Marine that I believe was driven to suicide by the woke left. And Megan Hunt was part of that group that drove that man to suicide, to poverty, and to loneliness. And what a very cruel thing to do. And other people said, well, he had racial epithets in the past, that is an excuse, or that's comparable behavior. The man defended himself, defended his father, and I believe defended his property. And nobody's really doing anything about this. Nebraska, she's allowed to talk and speak. I mean, she's certainly allowed, but I'm surprised nobody has ever asked her questions about Jacob Gardner and her role in that and her behavior. She defamed him after he committed suicide, saying that though a white supremacist died or is gone, his memory still lives on. And in Portland, I've said this before, during the 2020 riots, protest, I believe he was wearing either a MAGA hat or a Blue Lives Matter hat or shirt, was blown away by a BLM supporter, I guess also perhaps part of Antifa as well. And the crowd in Portland, after they heard of his death, let go of a cheer. And there's virtually nothing said by the opposition that this is wrong. If there is, it's very little. And I'd like to know, is this what you believe? Why don't you have empathy? It's just very curious. These people who claim to have empathy for others, but if you disagree, you're worthy of supreme punishment, humiliation, and to a degree, even death. There was somebody on Twitter, I guess he was a former Army, maybe a former Army Ranger, about Trump's when he was going to be charged. And I don't know if he's going to be charged or not, but one of the men commented that he hopes that they get out of hand because that would be a way of thinning the herd. This is what they believe that their opposition is worthy of. They're not worthy of talking to. They're not worthy of debate. They are worthy of destruction. They are worthy of death. And this is this is a big portion of the woke left. The other portion just ignores it and doesn't see it. Or they excuse it. I've said before, my definition of woke leftism is moral authoritarianism disguised as virtue. When they ask me the definition, of course, or I'll even give it anyway. But when they say that's not the definition, I've begun to say, well, can definitions change? Oh, I don't even ask that. I say definitions change, or things can have more than one definition. Take your pick. Anyway, that's about all I have to say about that. This will be hopefully I'll be able to fast throughout the day. And then I don't know if I'm going to continue it tomorrow. I might. But one of the things I want to get into is fasting throughout the day and having 1 to 2 meals a day. And that's going to be, for me, perhaps a harder discipline than just fasting and eating a protein-based diet, a more healthy-based diet. That's going to be a much more difficult thing. And again, hopefully we get with regards to technology and other things. Anyway, I'll have other things to add. This has been Brian with Transparency and Merit. Like and subscribe. Also, if you can listen to my Rumble page and give a thumbs up to that as well, that would be really great. Just because, again, I want to hear from people and not from people. I do have people one person follows me, and a lot of times he has a lot of negative things to say about me, but I'd appreciate it if somebody came on with something positive to say about me. Anyway, this has been Brian with Transparency and Merit. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Leave a comment down below at my Rumble page as well. Thank you for listening.